much. Alright, so um I was in our last week. It just happened the way it happened. So today is going to be very brief. We'll be doing a question and answer section and more of a um, tools that you'll be needing to ease your journey when going on web development. So basically, we've touched on every basic part of HTML already. So today will be more of so far everything you've done where you've had challenges in and what. So we will try to trash it today. But before we go that, I would like for everybody to open their VS Code and try to install some of the information that I'll be passing because it is very crucial and very important. That's one. Then yeah, basically that. So I'll just share my screen and show you most of what you need to do. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Zainab. So in VS Code, we have something called extension. And these extensions are like additional resources that we use to aid your work. So when you check on a normal, when you open your VS Code, you're going to see files. So that's explore. You see search, you see source. This one has to do with GitHub having one small link with your Git. So that is what we use to know when you have made changes, you've not made changes. This way, this is how VS Code uses it. And this is run to debug. And this is extension. And basically what we'll be working with today. Extension. So what extension we need first? So let me start with this one, live server. So you can open extension and click on live server. See this one by Prettier. You download that one. You install because I already have mine installed, so you can see that you install. So what do you use live server for? When you check down here, you see go live. Go live is basically what I have been using to see the output of every HTML file that we did online. So basically when I had this, I can just click, you see it's already highlighting it, telling us click to run live server. And when I click this, basically what takes us to our browser by showing us what we do. So that is what live server does for you. So you get to see your output while you are building. So that's one crucial part. So sorry if you are not with your system right now and you cannot install this. I really love for you to write them down because you'll be needing them. Live server is one important, very important um, tools that you'll be using back to back and you need to know. So another way for running live server, if you're not using from down, is to right click and you see open with live server and you can stop live server. So that's it. So that's one, two. And is that a question? Yes, Tolani.
Sorry, some of us are not using VS Code. Like me, I'm using Sublime Text. So how do I go about
I
it?
don't know. I have no idea. That was why the prerequisite we gave by starting this, we said VS Code. Why? Because it's easily accessible and it has more resources available on it. So when you just search your extensions, how to have live server and Sublime. Basically, this is just for those using VS Code. So I have no idea about that. Then that is one. So another thing is, did I remember this very well? Yeah, auto rename. Now this auto rename tag is important too because there are times that So you look for auto rename tag basically. So let me do it like this. You do auto rename tag. So you see it here. So you see it has other options. So you pick it. You pick the one by Junhan. And why is this important? In cases like this where I just needed to change, maybe I was changing this from, let's say, I want to change this TD to TH. Automatically the other part gets filled up for you. So you don't have to fill here and have to come back here and fill. So it's another good one for it. Then am I forgetting this? Prettier. Yeah. How did I forget that? So you have Prettier. Another thing we use Prettier to format our code to make it neat. Like it makes you neat. So sometimes you can be writing code and forget one punctuation or one tag. Essentially, you will not see the beauty more on HTML, but you will see it more when um you are working with JavaScript or CSS. So Prettier is another good tool that you have to. Prettier is another good tool that you have to need to make sure you download, install Prettier. And how does Prettier work? It's basically after you do that, thinking, okay, this is not Prettier. So when you click Control Save, can you see that? So if you arrange all what was looking too scattered and put them properly indented and all that. So you see we were having too much space. It brought back everything clear and it's this way you can. So even if you've written it roughly and you use Control Save on with Prettier that you have, it's going to just format it for you and bring it out neat. That's so there's Emmet abbreviation. I think this comes with VS Code now. Okay. There you should see it. Yes, you should see it. Emmet abbreviation. How this help you to do is needs to spelling it wrongly. Let me check it. E-M-M-E-T. I think this one comes with VS Code. But what this one does for you is what helps me that when I am just typing one tag without opening the tag, it gives you a list of any tag that is there. So this comes with VS Code to assist you. So you can easily just, okay, I want an header. See, I can just write header and click enter and it does the opening and closing tag. And if it's just image, which is not a If it's just image that is not a self-closing tag, you can do image and you do this. See, it has brought what you need to do for you there. And that is basically it. Then I think we have this one now might not look important, but we should have PS links, yes. Yeah, PS links. And this one is another preparation for your against your JavaScript ahead. So you look for ESLint by Microsoft and you use that. This one will help you more when you are doing your JavaScript class. It helps you check the types and everything you need to do. So that's that on that one. Let me see, we have more. Can't remember everything as one. So see, like I said, ESLint. Usually where you need most of it is um when you're writing JavaScript and all. So that is basically it. Yeah. And yes, this is it. So these are basically the extensions that you will need and you will need to work with. Well, so this Quaker helps you when you're writing your JavaScript too. So this is basically um, a JavaScript extension. So use it for JavaScript and so that's it. Basically that's all the extensions. Now we have some short codes that we will be able to use. Basically, we should know controls. S is for save, Prettier is one. Then we know that control C is for copy, control V is for paste, control X is for cut, right? Then we have Alt Z. Alt Z is to, what is that? I thought somebody asked me a question. Alright, so Alt Z is to break it in the sense that if you have a longer arm, it is basically this thing here. That is the short form for Alt Z. Is to break whatever has gone way outside before, bring it back inside. That's what Alt Z does. So that you don't need to be scrolling left and right to see it. When you have Control D is to duplicate. There are some times that most of these shortcodes might not run like that. Sometimes it just miss, but there's how you can define them. But that's not majorly your problem. But you have all these codes that I am calling. You have your Control D to duplicate whatever you have there, and then you have a Control Shift P to open up searches to search for other things that you might need. Yeah, that it is not visible here. And that's it. And then so we have something of, yeah. So you can find your keyboard short to get more on it. Then we have themes. Yes, this is what I'm coming for. There are some themes that you install from extensions to pick whatever you want. So for me, I'm using this. I like it that theme. So you can specify if you want to stay on your light theme or you install whatever font you want. Like this one Kai, definitely sure I installed it. So there is one. Yep, can see it there. So you get to install whatever type of theme you would like to use so that you can get a feel around how you want your theme to work. Basically, this is it like that. So that's the one for themes. One thing is like I can't give you all the not that I can't give you. Basically, it is as you go on, as you use it, you tend to know, okay, I need this, then you install this, I need this, you install this. So it's not as if you have everything ready in one day. But what I have shown you are basically things that you will use right from now down to all throughout that you'll be working with programming. These are tools that you will have. So that's basically that. So I think that's it, and that is all for um that is all for extensions that you'll be needing so far. And that's it, basically. So, do anybody has a question on that? Maybe you didn't get one of the extension or anything. So nobody have a question. That means you all got the extension and you're able to install them. Nobody's having an issue with installing them, right?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Thank you for the
evening.
class.
You're welcome.
Concerning the extensions, well, I think
Mm.
this will be the first time I'm hearing those. Though I'm not with my system right now, but when I'm with my system, I'll try and install those. But
Yeah.
the functions, I think maybe
Yes.
when we go ahead with the other aspects of the course, the CSS, the JavaScript, are we going to be making use of them? Like
Yes,
so that
that is the
we'll be
point of
used.
installing most of them. You are going to be using them frequently from now down continuously. We just introduce it because we don't want you to first have an idea of one thing about your programming step before you start getting um um hand of it. Do you understand?
Okay, okay. Now, this other question I want to ask, I think I'm seeing that kind of thing also in your where the file names on the VS code is on your
Okay.
screen. Maybe you can just
Yeah.
go there.
This one.
Yes, on the, yeah, beside those file names, that about the HTML and all that, this U that is in the front, I know it's on track,
Mm-hmm.
but what
Mm-hmm.
is the main thing that is doing there? What effect does it
Well,
have on the
it doesn't necessarily I won't say it does not have an effect, but the effect is like it's telling you that this particular file is on track. It does not have anything more than that. Like that's why I was saying that this part has to do with source, so it has to do with Git and GitHub, and that's why I see it's notifying me now here that I have made some changes. I have this file on track. I have the index modify. I have this one on track. I have the table. So basically, what all this does is because there is Git integrated inside VS Code. That's why you can use your terminal from here to connect to your Git easily because Git is already integrated inside VS Code with it, so you can work with that. So it tends to read whatever Git configuration you've had on your system, so it works with it. So what basically you are just saying is Git working. You know, we've initialized Git on this our repo that they have not just pushed so many things when we were trying to do Git and GitHub the other day. So we've initialized Git here. So Git is keeping track of everything. So now this you on track, the M that you are seeing is just basically telling you, the person, the developer, that you have this file created, but it is not yet tracked by Git. So do the needful, do the Git commit, and put it in my hand to start tracking. That's basically what it is.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm also saying it in my code, so I was like, "Ah, is there any error anywhere or whatever?"
No, basically when
Okay,
you have an error, it is going to go all red.
okay,
That is when
okay.
you have an error. Like, hopefully, let me see.
All right,
Into
I get you now.
order.
Thank you.
Let's see. Yeah, just that's it. It just goes all red. That's how you get that error. So, does anybody have any other question? It might not be on the extension. Like I said, we are going to go, or today should basically be a revision class on HTML completely on what we've done so far. So if nobody
Okay.
have question, may I ask
Please
question?
let me ask those about the under the table aspects, the
Mm-hmm.
call span, row span. I think I don't really get I didn't get that very well. I didn't get that part very well. Maybe you can
All
just
right.
help do a small,
Sim-
recap.
Demonstration.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. Let's do something. We have a table HTML, right? So let's run from table HTML. We'll just delete whatever table we have there and start all over. So, or make another table. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I do. I have to table. Let me move you. Okay. Let's do this. Let's just try clear some things on this table. On this table. Let's go. So basically, we don't have any table. So we said starting a new table, we have the table tag. We do our T row, we have our T head and say we want it to be day and the other one should be time. Let's just use something simple. And then we have a border with one. Mhm. So now we have a TR and we have a yeah. So we have a tier that has a TD of the day is Monday, right? And then I have another TD of I want you to let's start from 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9, 10 to 11, and let's stop 12 p.m. Let's just have that. Now, basically, you see that we have a Monday, or we have enough time, but our time is just staying in one place. But we know it's time that encompasses all year, right? So we can use the column span. The column span is to tell you that time take over this remaining part. You are the owner of all this column alone. So what we just have to do is come here and specify column span. Let's count how many that is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's specify 7, and that is it. So you see, time now knows that it owns all this space and automatically it takes all that. And that way we know that this is just day and time. So that is what the colon does. Now rows for you. So let us do another thing. Let's copy and paste, and let's change it to Tuesday. Now, basically, we're repeating the same 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11, 12. I'm just using simple examples. You can have something that you want to. But I want the same time to go around Monday and Tuesday, right? And instead of repeating everything this way, I can just delete this. Come here and specify row span and do 2 exactly, and just pick this yeah, and that way you see 6 a.m. is going across Monday and Tuesday, so that is the row. So this is the row 1, 2. This is the row 1, 2. Why calling goes like this 1, 2, 3, like that. So we've told time, oh, this whole column is yours. So anything under here is basically referring to time. But now since I want my 6 a.m. is the same thing I'm going to have on Tuesday. So I just take the 2 row now, and basically Monday and Tuesday, anything we're talking about is within 6 a.m., 7 a.m. and down to 12. So we could have something different now. And let's use Wednesday. Wednesday without having all that. And Wednesday. Oh, I don't want you to have that. So this one, let's say you start from 12 p.m. and down to 1 p.m. 2 p.m. 3 p.m. So can you see now, since we're having a different information here, it's not same thing with this. So see, it's starting on its own new row and column, notice affecting it. So that's basically what we use the column span and column rows to do. So basically we could say maybe 3 should take the remaining parts, we should be which is what remaining 3. So we can just tell it to take a column span of 4, and that way we know 3 p.m. is what takes all over this. So basically that is what we use column span and row span to do. Have I been able to answer that question? Have I been able to answer your question, ma'am? Okay,
Yeah, I
so
understand better now. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Does anybody have any other question? Any other question? Ask so. Nami, I'm begging you to ask. Because when I ask one question, you complain no. And I need a good answer. No question. Alright, so I need anybody to answer this question. So what are semantic HTML tags? Remember our first class was all about semantic and the basic structure of an HTML. So who can tell me what semantic HTML tags are?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Semantic from what I learned in the classes, just like um, structuring the HTML content into head, main body, their sides, and the footer. That is how I can explain.
Well, thank you very much, Ma. That is really good. That you can mention what those tags are means that you understand what we meant by the semantics. So when we say semantic HTML are basically like tags that from the name you can tell the meaning. So we use them to basically structure what we are doing. So like she said, the headers you know that anything that is in the header is basically what should be at the top. The footer is basically what should be at the bottom. The aside, you just want to put something at the side. Then the main, which is the main thing you want to write. That's it. Yeah. Thank you very much. So how do I ask this question? I have a question in mind. So what do we use form for? Yeah, I was not the one who take form class, so I can ask. What do we use form for? Or basically, how do we write forms? What are those tags that we use to create a form? Yeah, maybe that should be more easier. All right, Zainab, you have the floor. Zainab Diko, you raised your hand. You have the floor. Are you answering the question or what? So nobody can tell me what are those things inside a form. Okay. But I am Janet. I think you are the only one active in our class today, so you have the floor.
Okay, you said being tags in writing HTML form,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes,
Okay,
just the
we have
tags.
the label tag, the input type, input
Mm-hmm.
name, ID. Then in some cases, or maybe most cases, we require this being used placeholders to.
My Janet, you did well. But let me make a clarification. You are right. We have the label tag and we have the input tag. So the input tag now has properties. It has attribute. I remember when we were talking about attribute in our first class, we have attribute like our anchor tag having the ref attribute, our image having the SRC attribute and the other attributes which is alt. Same way our input has other attributes. The other attribute is by telling it the type. What type of input are you trying to do? Are you trying to do an email input or a text input or a password input? So that is one. you want to talk about the placeholder. Placeholder is to put small information inside that input to show to your users that this is what I want you to do here. That is placeholder. Required is used when you want to make sure that that form is not submitted without that particular input is filled. Then we have the name and ID, like we thought, ID is a unique name you give to a particular element, right? So each input should have its own unique ID because when you want to retrieve information from those inputs, all those information that that person submits, you want to use them. That's the point of telling the person to fill for. So those IDs is what you use to access them. So that is what you will do. Basically those are the attributes. Now the name also we can use it to get those informations too. So that's why we use the name and the ID. There are places where you need the name, there are places where you need ID. So that is it. So I think there should still be one more thing we will need in a form. Who can help Madam Janet out with that? Anybody? Nobody? How do you submit a form?
Imagine what an internet possibly can involve too. They have nothing. Maybe a personal vendetta? Or maybe they both witnessed something that was different.
Yes, Madam Grace. Please, Mrs. or Miss Grace. You have the floor.
Okay, you use a submit button.
Thank you. You need a submit button. So that means definitely we need to have a button in our form. So a button tag too should be part of what you have in your form. The label I've already tell you email, then you see the inputs, another label password, you see the inputs field. That's it. So you need a submit button, which is a button. So basically that is it. So I don't have much questions to ask. But I think from all what I've asked, it seems that everybody have an idea or two about HTML. So today makes it the like we said on the beginning that you'll be working based on project at each time. So there'll be a project for HTML to do the rounding up of HTML. So the templates will be dropped on the group and you are asked to recreate exactly what you see there. That is what um want you to do. Exactly as you see it is how you should recreate it back. And then you know how you've been submitting with your report and all that. So basically that is it. So in this note, I'll tell you congratulations for taking your first step in the whole mile and I will see you in the next class. And I think Falytom is not around, so I'll basically just end the class. So good night, everybody, and please array your projects to be dropped on the group chat. Yes, sir. Any questions can be asked on the group. So bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.